Back again. Science, really crazy sometimes. You never know what you might find inside. We got some interesting science here. We're talking about momentum, in this case, conservation of momentum. Conservation of momentum, conservation of energy, all kinds of conservation laws in physics, but they're important and very useful. Really simplifies the world of physics as well. Here we've got a thing called Newton's cradle, obeys conservation of momentum, at least for the most part. Doesn't work perfectly elastically, but if you could get one that does, this ball will hit the pile and knock off this end ball. If I take two and hit the pile, it should knock off two off of the end. It's a little bit more complicated than most people want to think, but this one will probably work reasonably well. So here we go. Ready? Not perfect, but pretty good. Let's try it with two. Again, not perfect, but works reasonably well. So momentum. Momentum is mass times velocity in a simple term. We have angular momentum, and I've got another demonstration or set of demonstrations with angular momentum. But here we're interested in talking about linear momentum. So we usually have little p equals little m times little v. So momentum, P equals mass times velocity. Okay? Here's a kind of a fun way to talk about momentum and surprise your friends. If we take this set of two, I've got two foam balls here. If I drop the two, wonder what would happen. Do you think this ball would bounce off and this ball would bounce off as well? Or would something weird happen? Maybe this one will hit and this one will bounce off? Or maybe it'll bounce off really far. Is that possible? Maybe. These are better to use than, for example, something that's more elastic. A hard rubber could be a little bit dangerous because, and I sort of gave you a hint, as they hit the ground, this might shoot off really fast. So you have to be careful with that. So let's try it with the foam ones. I'm not going to hold it too high, but how about over here? All right, so here we go. Ready? And drop it right straight down and kind of bounces off like that. With the elastic ones, you have to be careful. Let's try a ping pong ball. Might not be as dramatic, but here, let's take a look. Oh, kind of goes really high. Kind of bounces here. Now I've got two rubber balls here. Let's watch this one here. I'm going to hold it up and be careful. Watch your eyes. Whoa, that really went over. I'm going to get it again. It's a problem with things bouncing around. You never know where they're going to be bouncing. So if you hold it right straight up, it should hit, transfer momentum to the top ball. The bottom ball should pretty much end up dead. Transferring momentum to the top ball, it shoots way up high with a high velocity. And if you do it at an angle, well, you got a problem because it will launch in different directions and you might hurt yourself or someone else. So be careful. There are devices which have a little pin where you can put all of the balls on a pin and then the uppermost ball will shoot off the top of the pin. Let's try one. I'm going to actually angle this forward a bit, see what happens. Oh, so again, be careful. All right, one more try. Ping pong balls are pretty safe and they give you a really good bounce. One more try here. Oh, kind of neat. So an interesting application of momentum. Now I go over here, want to talk about the same thing with a big ball and a smaller ball. So here I've got a ball with a lot of air in it, really bouncy. And I'm going to take the foam ball. Again, we saw what would happen. So if I drop this, and this, by the way, won't behave as elastically as we saw with the other ones, so it won't really end up dead on the floor and this will shoot off. This will end up bouncing a little bit upward, but this one will shoot way off pretty fast. So if you hear a loud sound, it might be this ball hitting the lights here. So I'm going to just drop it again here. Oh, so that's kind of neat. I got another one here. So the smaller and smaller it gets on the top, should probably shoot way up there. Here we go. Oh, so it went to the side here. Let's try a heavy ball here. Or excuse me, a hard rubber ball. Let's see what would happen here. Actually, I don't know if I should try this because if it hits the lights, That's a problem. So avoid that one. So that was kind of neat. So that's an interesting way to talk about momentum to your friends in a way that they're not going to be falling asleep. So follow the bouncing ball. I'll see you in the next segment. I think that's about all.